Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. In our first story, the girl dumped our OP who earned less than she did. Let's see what the OP decided to do in the end. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. I can't spend my life with a guy that earns that. When I was 21 years old, I had my first real relationship with a woman. She was older than me, 27, and worked as a social worker. I was an IT guy on a low-income job. We'd go out, have fun, hang out with friends, had weekend getaways together. She was my first real love, but she had some quirks. At first, we'd split bills, but with time, she started to complain about that, always telling me her past boyfriends paid for all. She earned almost double what I was paid at the time. I also had to start saying no to extravagant weekends because I couldn't afford the hotels, inns on the countryside, or even the gas to get there. She also liked to talk about the names she would give our kids. Yeah, she was kind of quirky, but I liked her. I even took her home to meet my parents. With time, our relationship started to get strained because I wouldn't take her out as much as she wanted. She started to mock me in front of our friends because of my age and because I earned less than her, and we started to fight about it. Then one day, out of nothing, we hadn't fought that day, she tells me she can't spend her life with a guy that earns less than her and dumps me. I was devastated. How could she be so petty? How could she ruin our beautiful love over something so unimportant? My life was ruined. I was depressed and my love for her turned into anger. Wouldn't give two craps about work and my supervisor was on to me, so I decided to look for another job before I got fired. I found one at a new company, but it required me to spend 6 months training in Spain. I'm from Portugal. And for that time, I'd be paid a hefty sum of money plus a much better paycheck. Suddenly, I was quite rich. The first thing I did was invite all my friends for a farewell dinner at a restaurant, including her cousin, and pay for it the night before I went to Spain. Everyone was flabbergasted because I sprang for it all by myself, and it was really pricey. 2 days after that, I got a call from her congratulating me for my new job. I was out of the country, but asked her out for drinks when I returned since I was coming home 2 weeks from then. We went out. I took her to a fancy restaurant, took her out to a club, and then to a hotel. The morning after, she started to make all kinds of plans for our future, and I went along with it. I left her home and spent the rest of the day with my family. Then she came to pick me up and gave me a ride to the airport. She even bought me aftershave as a present. As soon as she dropped me off and went for a kiss, I stepped back and told her, "I'm sorry, but I just realized I can't spend my life with a woman that earns much less than me." Turned away, picked up my bags, and entered the airport. Never looked back once. She never tried to contact me since. Heard from her cousin that she took it really bad. She deserved it. And our second story. Customer blames my employees for stealing something off his car. So I work as the service manager at a local car dealer. Basically, I'm over the entire service department, so most of my day is just dealing with complaints. But I had a new one yesterday, and that's saying something. So a customer comes in for just an oil change. This particular customer had never serviced any vehicle with us before. As soon as he checks out, he walks out to his car and pops his hood and notices that his engine cover is missing. Why would you go out and just happen to pop the hood open if you didn't already know it was missing? And proceeds to lose his ever-loving mind. Of course, I get involved. He claims that he just checked his oil yesterday and the cover was there and now it's not. I walk back to my technician's work area to check and see if maybe he took it off and just forgot to put it back on, which can happen sometimes. In this case, there'd be no reason to remove it because it's not required to do an oil change. But I figured I should at least cover all my bases. I check around his work area, his toolbox, etc. There's, of course, no cover. I ask him if he noticed it, and he tells me there was no cover on it when he opened the hood. So I basically tell Mr. Customer, I checked my technician's work area and spoke with him as well. It was not on the engine when he opened the hood. He continues to lose his mind and accuse my technician of stealing the cover. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Sir, I'm pretty positive he didn't take your engine cover to put on his entirely different make and model of vehicle." I told him I wasn't buying him a new cover. He proceeds to tell me that he'd be okay with the used one. Another red flag. If you were convinced that we stole it, why would you be okay with a used one? And I told him, just to make him happy, that if I come across a used one, if we have a similar vehicle traded in, for example, I'll see if I can snag one just to make him go away. Fast forward to this morning. Walking by the detail department, there's another exact year, make, model vehicle that had been traded in and they were cleaning up for the lot. I popped the hood and no cover. Thinking there's no way it's a coincidence, I go to my parts department and ask them to price me out a new engine cover. I want the part number and price. Parts guy puts the VIN in and goes, "What engine cover? That vehicle never came with one." So this a-hole knew there was no cover. He probably bought it used and there wasn't one there and he assumed there was supposed to be and brought it to us for a cheap oil change because he thought he could just freak out and we'd cave and he'd get one for free. So now I get to call him Monday to let him know that 1, he's not getting an engine cover because they don't exist for that vehicle, and 2, we will not ever service any vehicle for him at any point in the future. He's fired as a customer. Have a nice day, jackwagon. And our next story. I'd love to come for the weekend, but I don't want to stay at yours, and I don't want to pay. So my partner and I have these nice couple friends. They're from my partner's uni. He used to live with one of them while he was there, but I've known them for 6 years. They were even there on my second date with my partner. Overall, they're nice people. She can be insane and socially aggressive. Her husband is just genuinely nice, not a mean bone in his body, but completely controlled by his wife. We bought our first house back in December, a nice, biggish 4-bedroom terraced house, a steal for the price. It's in a roughish area, but in a nicer part of it, like most places have. There's a cool cheese festival in our city in 3 weeks' time, so we called them up, the husband answered, and we asked if they wanted to come. He was super excited and said they'd love to come over and stop for the weekend. All was good. We then later get a phone call from the wife. She sounded super excited about the cheese festival, but then this was the exchange with my partner and her. W equals wife, Chad equals my partner. W: I can't wait to see you guys. Chad: Me too. We'll make a fun day of it and then get pissed all night and play stupid games. W: Yes, so excited. I'll make sure husband doesn't drink so he can drive us back to the hotel. Chad: Oh, are you guys not stopping over at our house? W: No. I didn't get any sleep last time I came round because of the heating being so loud last time. Chad: Well, we've still not ever heard of this loud radiator sound, and everybody else that stopped over hasn't heard it either. Maybe it was just that one unfortunate night. W: Well, I don't want to risk it, so we'll just go with the hotel instead. My partner was visibly upset at this, but he let it go. Chad: Fair enough. What hotel are you going with? W: Whichever one you've booked, haha. Chad: I'm sorry? W: Well, we're saving money to go to Disneyland, Florida next year, so we're really cutting back on things. Chad: Okay, so you're not booking a hotel? I'm confused. W: Well, if you're wanting us to come round to the cheese festival, it's only fair you'd book our hotel too, right? I could hear the conversation, and I looked at Chad, who could clearly see my reaction was, what the actual F? Chad: I mean, we can help you find a place close by, but I don't think we should be paying for your hotel because you don't want to stop at our house. W: Haha, really? Are you serious? Chad: What? We heard her husband shout in the background, and then the phone cut off. We were shocked at the whole situation. They're very well off, both with brilliant jobs, no children, house given to them from inheritance. We let the conversation sit for a few days, and then my partner texted her husband asking if everything's all right and what the plan is. He said they're still coming over for the cheese festival, but going back home that night instead. We've not even talked about the weird exchange, but I'm sure it'll come up when they get here. And our last story. Kid breaks into my house because mommy told me to. Okay, some backstory. I recently moved houses to another town. I moved to a pretty big house. It's nice. It has a balcony, large bedroom, etc. I have a neighbor who lives in a smaller house. I don't talk to her often, but when I do, I don't enjoy it. She's really sassy and has that I'll do whatever the F I want attitude. She has a son, ES. He always seems to stare at my necklace. It's very cool, but he might just be staring because guys don't usually wear necklaces. Either way, I just shrug it off. I got it from my late grandma who passed away last summer. Anyways, to the story. Roles. EM equals entitled mom. Paul equals decent dad. ES equals entitled son. Me equals me. So I just finished unboxing my stuff. I was pretty tired. I went to go get a Hot Pocket. I hear some noise coming from my backyard. I think nothing of it, probably just an animal. I live near the woods. I eat my Hot Pocket. I then go upstairs to my bedroom. I had to work the next day and it was already pretty late, so I decided to go to sleep, but for some reason I couldn't. That noise from the backyard just kept on happening. I go downstairs to investigate. I see the doorknob shake. I'm near a closet. I keep a bat in, so I go get that. Door opens, and lo and behold, it's ES. Me. What are you doing in my house, ES? ES. Breaking in? I was being nice because he was only around 5 or 6. Me. Why? That is very bad. ES. I want your necklace, and Mommy told me to break in to get it. Me. What? Let me talk to your mom right now. ES brings me to the house. I knock furiously. EM. What do you want? It's 11 p.m. Me. Your son tried to break into my house and said that you told him to. EM. And? He wants your necklace. He should be able to have it. Me. I got this from my grandmother, who passed last summer. EM. Cool. Give my son your effing necklace. Me. Wow, you just swear like that in front of your kid? EM. Don't tell me how to raise my son. Paul walks down the stairs. What's all this noise? EM. OP won't give me his GD necklace. Me. Your wife is trying to make me give her my necklace I got from my grandma. Paul. Honey, what the hell? EM. Excuse me? Paul. That's his necklace. You can't just steal it. EM. But ES wants it. Paul. Let's argue upstairs. OP, you can go home if you wish. I go home and go to sleep. The next day, Paul said he was getting a divorce. He said that he didn't want to be with a thief. I felt bad about causing this, but understood the decision. Of course, there were other conflicts between them, but this was the last straw for Paul. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.